Hey everybody, welcome to Myopia Movies. This week we visit a classic of horror and we watch The Omen. Back when horror movies had real casts and some pretty interesting twists and turns. And you'll note we're at the end of October, but don't worry, we've decided to keep the creepy going and doing a creepy kids month as we float deeply into November, just to keep it going a little bit. Not to mention a movie crossover, which we'll get to soon. Thanks for doing all you do to keep us on the charts and relevant, and we appreciate you for doing just that. Thanks, everyone.
I only eat popcorn at the movies.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
Groovy.
It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
I see dead people.
Still warm.
He got hungry.
Could have been a skunk.
Could have.
Man wouldn't do that.
This isn't a man.
Hello. Would you like to play a game?
The power of Christ! That the power of Christ compels you!
Here's Johnny.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Welcome to Myopia Movies. This week we're talking The Omen, an entry into our creepy kid lexicon. I am your host, Nick Hoffman, Reference Cineprov, and we have...
Also, Reference Cineprov, Nor Chernett.
Atlanta author Matthew W. Quinn. Check out the Iced Earth song Damien, inspired by this movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if you have not, I guess, made your entire list yet for creepy movies, there's several of these Omen movies, and some are better than others. I mean, this one's actually directed by a director named Dick Donner, Richard Donner, who we've done a lot of his movies at this point. There's still more on the list.
Which ones?
He did the first two Superman movies.
Oh, yeah. He directed this?
Yeah.
What?
He also did Lethal Weapon,
The
1, 2, 3, and 4.
I thought that was Shane Black.
Shane Black wrote them. Yeah. He also did Scrooged, which is a previous episode as well, and The Goonies, which is a previous episode as well, and movie Two Races for Us to Do, The Toy.
The one with Robin Williams and Jamie Foxx?
No, The Toy is the one where a kid owns Richard Pryor.
And they realize how awkward that could get, so the whole plot is them fighting the Klan together.
Yes, it's a strange movie. It's a weird
Future
movie.
Episode with Jess Noor.
Yep. So Noor, explain this movie to me.
No, the fuck I'm not. No, The Omen or The Toy. I'll do The Toy. I'll do a solo episode of The Toy, if that's the case. We'll do it for our Black History Movie Month.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right.
Anyway, so this is one of the first full-length movies he actually directed.
Okay.
He did a lot of TV before this, as you would. He did a TV show, or a made-for-TV movie before this. And then, literally, it's this, and then the next year he does Superman, and then the year after that he does Superman 2. Like, the dude just goes.
Well, No, for real. That's actually pretty cool because that's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And it's so wide ranged. And were directors like that, or was he just a reliable person, you think?
No, I think he's just a kind of a nuts and bolts director, and he had a good eye. Like, and again, just think of the movies he's done. We talked about Goonies previous episode, but like Superman is huge.
Episode, yeah.
It's a great, it's a good ass movie. And again, Lethal Weapon, you got like a good ass movie. A lot
Riggs.
Well, and, I mean, it starts with that like Christmas music
That
playing. A woman
sweet
gets
jazz.
naked, and she just jumps. You're just like, alrighty. Speaking of, I mean, I guess here we see.
Oh
that
yeah, no, there's a lot of jumping. Yeah, there's a lot of free falling.
The mom does the thing right onto the ambulance.
We'll get to
ambulance.
the ambulance. Yeah.
Right onto the ambulance.
So who wants to explain the movie? Because I wouldn't do justice to it, honestly.
Matt, you want to do it, or?
Okay, so it begins in Italy where an American diplomat's wife has just had a stillborn baby, and so the diplomat and I think one of the Catholic priests decide, you know what? There's this other woman who just died giving birth. Let's just trade the baby in and just don't tell your wife.
Right.
Yeah, this is some Rosemary's Baby. Let's just not tell the white women anything kind of things.
Yeah.
The baby is alive.
I mean, it's also very much The Orphan. If you have not seen Orphan.
No, I haven't seen The Orphan. Is that another scary movie?
Is that the one where she's really like an adult woman who's just short?
Yeah.
Oh. I've seen some version of that. They've made that, here recently.
Well, and I mean, so to that point, this is the golden age of creepy kids and demons, right?
What came around this time?
Rosemary's Baby is 68.
Okay.
The Exorcist is 73, and this is 75.
When was the Poltergeist?
Ooh, Poltergeist is a good one. I think that's 82.
Okay.
And again, who are the people involved? It's always kids, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the familial thing. Kids get possessed. Rosemary's Baby, the baby is like the son of Satan. This is Damien Thorne. Anyway, Matt, go ahead. We kind of interrupted your.
And so things are fine at first, but then at his birthday party in Britain, when his dad has become the ambassador, the nanny hangs herself.
Yep.
All for you, Damien. And they get a new nanny who is creeping. Yep. And then just weird stuff starts to happen.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So, the switched up birth. And I guess we get to know who the mom. That's messed up. So a lot of movies, Rosemary's Babies was like this. They switched up birth.
But Rosemary's Baby was a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, Rosemary's Baby is more like she is pregnant, and there's like a ritual going on at this swanky New York apartment to make it like the soul of Satan possesses the baby, and there's like ritual and shit. It's a really good movie. It's a hell of a movie. Exorcist, I think, is the scariest of the three. But
what makes Exorcist scary?
Have you seen it?
No.
I mean, it's a lot like this, where it's all atmospheric, right?
It's very tense,
and it's very claustrophobic because they're like in the girl's room, and like so like it's all happening right up against you, which makes it creepy.
Got you.
No.
So, in regards, I mean, who are the big names in this movie at this time?
So Gregory Peck is huge. Gregory Peck is the dad. He's the main actor. He is probably best known from I almost said One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. No, it's To Kill a Mockingbird. He plays Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
He's also in a couple classics like Roman Holiday and Spellbound. But I would guess if the audience knows him, it's from To Kill a Mockingbird. Though I will recommend a really strange movie he's in called Boys from Brazil, where he plays Dr. Joseph Mengele.
That's interesting.
And like a bunch of Nazi hunters are trying to stop him from rekindling the Third Reich in Paraguay. Huh. It's a real doozy.
No, as you mentioned, I do remember him from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, he's awesome.
No, because I think just that monologue of him in the courtroom as he's trying to, defend. Oh God, I forgot the man. Who? Yeah, I mean, you know who he was.
I'm just seeing
he was
there.
The black guy, but the only Tom.
Yeah,
Tom
Robinson.
Tom Robinson. But yeah, no, this is. I will say this, being a '70s movie, and I don't like scary movies at all. I really don't. And
we did two of them tonight.
To watch them at 2:00 in the morning, and forcing myself to watch this, and it doesn't help that this movie is very, as you said, there's a lot of tense. And the pacing, I've noticed when we watch these old movies, the pacing's so slow. Why?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've actually, I mean, Matt, we'll get to you because I know you don't like you didn't like even the Hitchcock movies because they were so slow. But this one kind of plods along.
Is it supposed to make
this one doesn't feel as slow as the Hitchcock movies? Maybe is it shorter, or maybe it just has the scary violins?
Well, I mean, this one is fairly short. This is like a tight 93 minutes or something like that.
It's a 2-hour movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Hour 50.
It is 151. Okay, there you go. You're right. I don't know. Maybe it just feels smoother.
To you, because you relate a lot to this, because it's, Catholic. Yeah, Catholic horror. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not going to deny it. We've done a bunch of Catholic horror movies, including, I would count Constantine in that number too, because what is it? It's, the devil, there's exorcisms in it, like...
So
do Catholics believe in the Antichrist?
Do they?
Yeah, not anymore, no. Not really.
Because I thought that was the rapture and tribulation and 7 years and all that stuff was a certain sort of Protestants.
No, I mean, this is very Catholic.
Well, I thought the Antichrist was the devil.
Antichrist is supposed to be someone who's incredibly charming. I mean, the explanation that David Warner gives us is very much what the idea is. He's supposed to be a charismatic person who blah, 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 blah. The problem is it's got really cool, terrifying imagery, but the book of Revelations is supposed to be, well, positive. It's supposed to be the kingdom of God coming, but and the people who are punished are those who are not God's chosen people. But the Puritans really brought it over as a really creepy kind of exegesis, which it's so it allows us to then have a lot of fun with this idea of these kind of vaguely creepy things, because it's creepy iconography being creepy. I don't know what to tell you.
No.
I mean, there's that kind of stuff sprinkled throughout everything. Reading through the Quran is much more straightforward, I think.
Well, because you're reading it through a translation.
Well, and also one person who put together the whole thing. When you cut to the Old Testament in the Christian scriptures, and it's the book of Daniel, and you're just this just goes on and on and on and on, and it's terrifying. And then Revelations is terrifying in a different way. And so, yeah, it allows you to have a lot of fun with the imagery. But, I mean, to Matt's point, nowadays, most Catholics would probably not believe in this, in the Antichrist and all that kind of stuff. And most of the exorcisms done nowadays are done by Protestants.
Wait, hold on. They still perform exorcisms?
They still do. And
really?
For a Catholic to do it, it has to be approved by the higher-ups. You have to get a bishop or a cardinal to approve it. And 90% of the time, they're absolutely not.
Well, we'll get back to the movie, but when was the last U.S. exorcism?
Oh, there are hundreds done a year in Protestant circles. But then again, there are Protestant sects that believe being gay is a demon. And and so that's kind of the scary thing. And we'll eventually get to the movie, but one of the issues with American Protestantism, as it is, so to speak, is that there's the mainstream, which is totally fine. And then, but because this is America and we're all independently minded, there's thousands and thousands of little fractures. There's even really terrifying Catholics who are pre-Vatican II people. And because again, in America, you can just kind of do what you want. And therefore, again, there are a lot of exorcisms done by a lot of people who shouldn't do them. And they occasionally end up in jail when they kill people rather than get the medical treatment, because most of what we would think of as demonic possessions are things like seizures or Tourette's or,
dehydration
or multiple personality disorder or schizophrenia. And then you essentially are starving the people for days, yelling Bible quotes at them. And you can't work because you're not screaming in Latin. If we've learned one thing about these things, is that you need Latin for it to work.
And you need holy water. I got a holy water plug if y'all want. It's Muslim holy water, but yeah,
that's fine.
It still works.
It's still hydrating.
Works. It's still hydrating. Yeah.
So, so just really quick, we went to church a couple weeks ago, and my daughter, the little one, stuck her entire hand in the holy water and just rubbed it on her face. She didn't give herself a blessing. She just goes splash and goes. And it was just watching.
She knew that was good stuff. She knew that was good stuff.
Future nun.
Well, at least she didn't start sizzling when she put her hand in the
water. Right.
Which, back to the movie, Damien kind of does.
So, so the birthday party is when things really kick off,
Well, I mean, to be fair, at this point, they move into the new house, and Gregory Peck is immediately trying to get her wet. And we need to get some books to fill these shelves. Let me close the window and nail you. And just it's... You want to talk about an age gap, by the way. This woman is 20 years younger than him.
He's a little older. I wish they could have gave him a little more black in his hair. But essentially, I mean, maybe that's how it was back in the day, you know, because he's an ambassador of how the U.S. So
yes, and apparently his college roommate was the president of the United States. This is 76, so that's Jerry Ford. He went to college with Jerry Ford.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So he goes to Rome to be an ambassador. No, not Rome.
England? No, he starts in Italy as the Italian ambassador, and then we have, you know, like Matt said, a church or a hospital run by the church, which there are thousands of. And then he gets appointed to be the Court of St. James, as he calls it, which is the ambassadorship to London. So he's the American ambassador to Great Britain in 76. There you go. Yes, helpful.
Oh, no. So essentially, his escapades happen, and as Matt said, a new nanny appeared because the quote-unquote agency saw that there was a death of the other one, and she brought it up, and she seems to be a little weird and possessed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she's like, let me speak to the child alone and get to know each other better in our own way. And okay, she's not a pedophile; she's actually worse.
So we kind of think she's working for the devil. She's the devil. Well, she is a demon.
Apparently, there's a clique of Satan worshipers who set this whole thing up.
Yeah, and we are. There's like is it the creepy priest who goes, he is the acolyte of the Holy One, or the evil one, the guy who super gets killed. There's a few super deaths in this.
There's a lot of super deaths in this.
David Warner, dude.
So I guess
the priest, the one with the lightning rod. So that's the priest who knows what's up, and he's trying to warn the ambassador.
Yep.
And then, I mean, because there was a lot of characters and a lot of things happening, and I was just only worried about the kid, essentially. So there were about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very, oh my God, deaths in the movie. The first one being the nanny. The second one, was it the priest, essentially? So what was happening before that? They were getting the photos developed, and it was kind of like foreseen, essentially. Like the photos, they thought when they were getting developed from the birthday party, the creases weren't really creases, but it kind of like foreshadowing what exactly was happening to Priest, and just and so would they essentially realize? And how are the dogs? How are the dogs affiliated?
Okay, we gotta
because
stop
I am
because
so
you were
because
just
this movie really confused me, Nick. This movie really confused me.
Okay, so I guess we should start by just talking about, like, we keep glossing over the birthday party because the birthday party is strange. We need to talk about it.
We need to talk about it.
So we're introduced to the baby, kind of growing. He's this curly-haired little brown-haired boy, whatever, which is what we assume, I guess, that when Gregory Peck had color to his hair, he had, who knows. The birthday parties where we're introduced to everyone of importance, including David Warner, who's a photographer, who I guess is just paparazzi because this kid, I mean, like, the Thorns apparently are incredibly wealthy, right? They keep joking about Thorns' millions. We have the nanny, right, who's there, and the mom keeps getting jealous, right, because the photographer is taking pictures of her with the baby instead, right? And we have this whole, there's this, I would imagine there's a longer cut of this movie somewhere where there is more, like,
flirting.
No, what Damien is able to do is manipulate people, and eventually he gets magic powers, which we'll get to when we get to. But, like, I get the feeling that he's the one who's making the mom jealous. We just don't see it, and it would be interesting if that happens more than just the one time, so we can think about it.
Huh? Okay.
You know, like, because it's not until the mom comes and takes him away, right? So he wants to take her away to then kill the nanny. Right? This is also when we first get introduced to the dog, right? Because there's a dog in the woods, and these Rottweilers that keep showing up, like,
how? Why?
We don't know. It's Damien's, like, I mean, the damn dogs, the dogs of the damned, nor
no. Is that like a mythology where, like, the devil can talk to animals?
I mean,
well, if you ask the son of Sam,
True.
Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
He
Son
claimed-
of Sam was the serial killer from Queens.
Yeah, who claimed that Satan had commanded him to kill blonde women, speaking the voice of his neighbor's dog.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But don't worry, he's a born again Christian now. So he's asking to be released. Man, you get fucked up in prison. I looked up Jared Fogle. Remember the sandwich guy who turned out to be a pedophile?
Yeah, Subway.
He's claiming he's a sovereign citizen now. And he asked Donald Trump as a sovereign citizen to pardon him. We're all doomed. We are doomed.
The son of Sam, for like 30 years, refused to go to parole hearings. Said he deserved it. He got a little waffly in his old age.
Yeah, and now he's a born again Christian.
Good for him. But still murder.
Yep. My favorite.
That's my point. He thought he deserved it.
My favorite is a BTK. BTK, mind, torture, kill, serial killer from the 70s and 80s. Beautiful voice. So he did audiobooks for years for the California prison system, and every so often they still turn up, and you can be like, "Ooh, he strangled a bunch of women," but listen to that baritone. Like it's just, it's all for you, Damien.
As most serial killers are super charming. It's all for you, Damien.
Like this kid.
It's all for you, Damien.
But I do love the scene because like there's these kids on this carousel, wee, and there's a bouncy house, wee, and then all of a sudden the woman hangs herself. It's all for you, David. Boom, and the paparazzi are there, dude.
Previous episode, Conan the Barbarian, come here, my child, and she jumps off a cliff.
And the kids are just screaming, and the paparazzi's like, this seems like an appropriate thing to do.
Well, they are the paparazzi.
So, I don't get it. What makes these... How, like, his power is just what? Go kill yourself, like, essentially?
I mean, so it's not really explained. I don't know. But, like, he clearly can manipulate, I mean, if we're talking, like, using religious terms or whatever, the souls of these things. Because, like, so fuck's going on. Like, these people are, like, willingly killing themselves.
Well, it seems like until later in the movie, he doesn't seem to actually do anything himself. These other people are setting it up.
But I also just want to throw out there, like, how wonderfully 70s is this? Like, she sees the dog, and the soundtrack goes, wee, wee, and we're just like,
something's going on.
It becomes Kill Bill for a second, the klaxon's just going, like, and then the paparazzi is just like, pictures. And then they follow him to, like, his, like, I guess his meeting at the State Department or whatever this is, like, I do like these, like, yeah, no, like it's such a cool setup because all this kid has to do is kind of smile lightly and then wave at a dog. He waves at the Rottweiler. The Rottweiler's like, well, my mission is done. And then the dog kind of fucks off, which is great. I love this so much.
Are the dogs symbols of Satan?
No.
Well, I mean,
I don't think so.
I think it's what it's supposed to be is the kid can manipulate whatever he wants. And again, it's good symbolism by Dick Donner. He doesn't have to say a damn thing, but after that first scene, the second the Rottweilers show up, you know shit's about to go down, right? Like, he doesn't have to say a word. There's no exposition where someone goes, that Rottweiler shouldn't be here. I guess...
Well, the ambassador does, like, the nanny is, getting a little fresh there, Oh, I decided to adopt this dog. Damien loves this dog. And he's like, call the Humane Society, get rid of this dog.
I didn't even look at the credits. I was thinking about looking at the credits, but the second this was done, I was like, I needed to sit down. But I'm going to go ahead and guess there's no PETA logo at the end of this because I'm going to guess, the 70s is rough on animals.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anything was...
I don't know. That scene in the cemetery, they're kicking them dogs.
Well, you think quick shots could have been dummies? I can assume. Yeah. But hey, shout out to the animal wrangler.
I will say too, I need to bring back some of these looks, man. Gregory Peck is like rocking like a houndstooth blazer with like a turtleneck over it. Like dude, the man, like, and it all smelled like Draquois Noir and like bad coffee, and it's just.
Well, Nor has his thrifting thing. You just get some stuff from him.
Yeah, if you want a turtleneck and a blazer, I got you.
Pop some tags.
Yeah, that's $20 in my pocket. Yeah. But
that's fucking awesome.
I think for me though, the one thing because I think I'm following along in the movie right now, and I think the nanny and Damien are getting that one-on-one time, and they're just like intensely staring, and he does have that. I can see, but to go back with the style, I couldn't live in the 60s or 70s, to be honest with you. It's the TVs are too small.
TVs are small.
Radio.
The food was awful.
Yeah, no flavoring. Not
well, or 100% salt. You know what I mean? Like
everything was boiled.
Oh, British food.
They invade the whole world for spices, and then decide they don't want them anymore.
Oh wow, you have a point there. History.
Well, that's why the joke of like the British national dish is chicken tikka masala, because it's the only thing with flavor you can get. And I mean, again, every so often I have a few drinks with my buddies, and I'm like, I could really go for a doner kebab. Like
doner kebab.
Yeah.
A Richard Donner kebab?
Yes, a Dick Donner kebab. No, doner kebab is, I mean, it's a very specific kind of shaved meat sandwich. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said abroad in Great Britain. I remember trucks with this big cylinder of meat, and they just scrape it off.
Yeah, it's essentially like lamb. It's really good stuff. And we were floating around Italy, and you're just getting like this and like a beer at like 2 a.m. Like that's how you end the day. So next thing we got to talk about is them trying to go to church.
Yeah.
Gregory Peck with the most 70s of top hats. I love this top hat. I love this suit. I assume they're going for a wedding.
It seems that because has his big old flower lapel kind of thing. So yeah, it's not church. It's definitely.
And it's this lovely kind of medium gray, like tuxedo, and he has a hat which we see Damien wearing. The mom is wearing this kind of blue thing with her hair up in a very like I Dream of Jeannie's 70s way, and then they get near this giant. I believe it's supposed to be a Episcopalian church, or I guess Anglican church, because they're actually in England.
A church.
But it's this beautiful church. The second they pull up to the roundabout where he's about to get out of the thing, Damien starts losing his goddamn mind.
Screaming bloody murder.
And he starts clawing his mother's face, which is it's a power move, I guess. I don't know. It's also funny because when we get to the house, we cut to the house. The nanny is all like, no, man, you can't take him to church. I don't think he wants to go to church. He wouldn't understand what's going on there.
Facts.
Which, I mean, I guess if it's the first time he's ever been to church.
I mean, we've all been there.
Sure.
Yeah, the nanny was obviously up to something that way. Let's not take him to church.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I know eventually they explain that there's a bunch of Satanists who made this happen, so to speak. But at this point, I just thought he was trolling her.
Yeah, no. The devil's alive. And then I guess the next scene after them just have that conversation, they go to the zoo.
Yeah, I mean, we cut immediately from Gregory Peck steps out of the car, and he's like, "Hello, other man in a tuxedo on top hat. How are you?" And the kid is just like, "Wah!" and clawing the mom's face, and they're like, "Well, a white guy, hello to you. What's going on in the car?"
Indubitably.
And the kid is just screaming, and they drive away. And I mean, the only reason I called back for a second is that Gregory Peck seems only mildly fazed by this, right? He's switched to the warmest of sweaters, and she's in a robe. She's putting concealer on her face, and he's like, maybe I should go speak to Damien. That's it. There's no trouble.
That's how fathers did it back in the day. They weren't around. I guess that seemed like a lot.
And the only reason I called us back from the animal park is this is when the dog is in the house for the first time. And him and the nanny are essentially guarding the door. And the dad is like, I don't want that damn animal in here. I don't know why I'm making him sound like Charlie Heston.
I was going to say, I do like the...
You can take this holy silver knife from my cold, dead hands, which they kind of do.
Dude, we'll get to the end of this movie, but we could spend 45 minutes on the last 3 minutes of this thing, because David Warner gets super killed. I don't know how to say it. Meanwhile, dude, the end of this movie is nuts. But the fact that this, oh, Damien wanted a dog, and it's just this brute dog who's growling at everyone. It's like, when a kid wants a dog and you get a dog, you expect it to be this giant-eyed, And I will say that this Rottweiler, like I had like a rot mix at one point. And you can tell that this is a well-trained dog, and it's not actually that mad. Because every so often, like, it just smiles at Gregory Peck, and Gregory Peck has to be like, you dog, I don't trust you.
Jam dog.
But, like, it really just growls. And I do appreciate that, like, he then looks at his kid, you know, gives him a loving look, like, is my kid crazy or what? Like, because he doesn't hug the kid or give him a kiss on the forehead. He just kind of looks at the kid for a while, like, you clawed my wife.
Wait, so was he aware of the switched up birth?
He knows, because he at the beginning he's talking to the priest. The mom, I guess, never finds out, which is weird, right? But the next day, apparently, is when they go to the park. And this is also just so 70s, because no one has a seatbelt. The kid's in the front seat. He's like, here's money, Mom. And I just love how we relate that this is Satan, or an evil kid or whatever,
right?
Because animals just hate him.
Yeah.
Like, I love the idea that literally in this thing, Gregory Peck and the mom are the last two people to get it. Like, David Warner, the photographer, even gets it before this. But, like, Damien gets an ice cream cone in this creepy kid suit that he's wearing, walks up to the giraffes, and the giraffes are like, nah, man.
Nah. You're not a Toys R Us kid.
Because, like, this giraffe is, like, just chewing its cud or whatever.
No, this is...
Looking at this kid with another amazing turtleneck, and then all of a sudden the giraffes are like, what the fuck? And you run.
I kind of like the zoo that they're in, though. I mean, I've only been to two zoos. Oh, you okay?
No, you go. Please.
No, I've only been to two zoos in my life: the Atlanta Zoo and the Denver Zoo.
Sure.
This is more interactive, though, so I'm a little jelly.
But I do realize that if it were the 70s when Jurassic Park came out, and if it was in Britain, the dinosaurs would just be running free, right? Like, you would drive your own car through the T-Rex paddock. Like, because the real thing here, Nor, is you're right, this would be cool, but there's also a reason that these don't exist anymore. Because those giraffes are just wandering around Britain on a cold day. They went from Africa to Britain on a blustery day, and they're clearly just eating, like, maple leaves. Like, none of this is good. And also the fence is chest high on Damien.
Yeah.
Right? Like, those giraffes just break.
And then you see the great
no
baboon
reason.
freak out about 5 minutes later.
I'm surprised. I wonder. Yeah, you know, you're right. They should have been a PETA disclaimer. Do you think they ran over a monkey?
I'm 100% that they ran over monkeys. Because, like, and by the way, like, I know we don't see any dead monkeys, but there's also a cloud of dust, and that monkey, there's at least one monkey corpse.
Like, when she, like, peels off, it almost seemed like a scene from, like, a comedy. The way she, I don't know.
And if you want to see how just disturbing baboons can get, check out the Ron Perlman movie Primal Force.
Raw
Never seen it.
Really?
It's a UPN movie involving an island of genetically engineered super baboons.
And they're just regular baboons.
Well, they're bigger and smarter, and they kill a lot of people.
Well, okay, but never mind.
These are standard baboons, and they're not fun.
I feel like I was gonna say, funny enough, I forget the release order, so Nor, you can clean this up if you want. But we're recording this the same time as Cujo, which is another mom and son trapped in a car when an animal is trapping them.
Very true.
But I would just like the one note I have here, which is funny. Damien and the mom get freaked out because the baboons start storming the car. They start attacking the car. The mom never thinks to roll up the windows, which is funny. But like, Damien is freaking out. I think it'd be scarier if he was perfectly calm when the mom is freaking out.
Yeah. Well, you can't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. But like Nora was saying, the mom peels out, and they're little like they called it a estate car because this is Britain, but it's a hatchback. It's a station wagon. But like monkeys are just flying, man. It's like
something.
And we should also add creepy priest at this point, because we've had a priest who came to the ambassador's offices, and he's like, I was there in Rome, and I was there, and the mother who was the baby, and he goes, you mean my wife? And he goes, no, the mother of the baby was not your wife, it was, and then they shuffle him out of the room. By this point, he showed up just outside of the house. So as Gregory Peck is presumably being driven to work, he's standing on the street corner, and I don't know who this guy is, but he's got a great look. Bushy eyebrows, the sunken eyes, the giant cross around his neck.
He seems tired.
He does.
Yeah.
That's what happens when Satan's after you.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's
eventually decides, okay, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes, make your pitch, and then he's like, when the Jews return to Zion and the comet fills the sky, and he makes this kind of apocalypse prophecy, and then tells him I think he has to kill his son.
Well, and at the end, when we get to it, Gregory Peck tells David Warner, "I know the whole poem." Like, it's very much like, no, right? But yeah, like there's this kind of, I'm gonna see if I can find it really quick, because I started to write it down like Matt said it, and then I stopped and I never got the whole thing. But let's see if I can find it real quick, like.
Yeah, because the theology, I mean, it's a Catholic priest, but the theology is like the late great Planet Earth 1970s Hal Lindsey stuff, like with the Holy Roman Empire, the European Common Market, the Jews return to Zion, which triggers everything.
Yeah, I mean, well, and let's be clear, that is Christian millennialism, right? That was something that George W. Bush believed too. That's why he was such a strong supporter of Israel. It would bring around the end times. Anyway, so here we go. When the Jews return to Zion and a comet rips the sky and the Holy Roman Empire rises, then you and I must die. From the eternal seas he rises, creating armies on either shore, turning man against his brother till man exists no more. There you go. And yes, it is a common belief in some evangelical circles that we should support Israel because it'll bring around the end times.
Because it's in the bottom, yeah.
Because it's that the Jews have now taken back the Holy Land, which again, fine, it's, but it should not then therefore be public policy. But as Matt said, this is what kind of triggers our globe-trotting adventure, because they talk about Tal Megiddo, which is Armageddon, which is where the final battle between good and evil is supposed to take place. And that also goes back to biblical history and all that stuff. It's where the Egyptians first take over the Israelites and yada, yada, yada. So
the end is near.
The end. Well, the end is over there, but I understand.
Well, they say the end is 9. Is that 9 Latin? Nigh. What's nigh?
Nigh, N-I-G-H, means near.
Oh, then say near.
Yeah, so
it sounds more pretentious.
Yeah, so after the priest who comes off like a creepy homeless man gives him the warning, then he super dies over about 10 minutes.
Well, a hurricane comes.
And yeah, he's
in the eye of a hurricane.
And there's something, the wind kicks up, there's lightning, he's running through the park.
It seems like
it reminds me of like that previous episode, The Happening.
Oh, very much. Yeah, good call, man. No, because it is like he's talking to Gregory Peck. He's like, "You need to kill your son." He goes, "I'm listening."
Wait, who is? I don't mean to cut you off, but the way that you're talking, it's probably your Italian accent. SNL from like way back in the 70s. There was like a correspondent that was like an Italian priest. And
Father Guido Sarducci.
Yes,
I'm doing. I'm kind of doing it.
Yeah, you're kind of like you kind of heard it here, no? Oh yeah, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, no. We're going to the Vatican. It's a Father Guido Sarducci. Yeah.
It's me, the creepy priest. You got to kill your son. Wow, I just went full Guido.
It was very Guido.
Father Guido Sarducci.
Yeah.
But he's there, like, he's just sitting on a park bench. He goes, "I knew you'd come."
Yeah.
Like, it's very much like... And then these two men with the greatest eyebrows that cinema has ever seen are having an eyebrow competition. But then, again, Gregory Peck walks off. Only for a hurricane to show up in the middle of this British park. And, like, what happens is just incredible. Like, he's running through the woods, like, then all of a sudden lightning starts coming down, and he runs to a nearby churchyard as he is running. And again, this man, of course, knows a thing or two about evil.
A little bit.
And he's like, he literally stands up and the wind is blowing and he's looking towards the wind. He's like, "Do I sense evil?" Like, it's so great. And he runs in the middle of this like opening, like it's kind of like a field lined by trees. And all of a sudden he looks up and the tree gets struck by lightning. And I will say, just to Dick Donner's direction, man, this is cool. This is really truly
Yeah.
scary. And I'm giggling here because it, like, out of context, it's ridiculous. But
It's also really impressive how they could have filmed this back in the day. Like, you don't have a lightning machine, do you?
well, I mean, what you have is a wind machine. You have a filter on day for night because every so often they, like, if you look at the corners, the sky is still crystal blue. And so they're like, there's a wind machine, there's a water machine, and then there's flashing. Like, there's probably a bright light just off to the side. The lightning is added in post production.
Right.
But like when he jumps the gate just for the gate to then explode, pretty cool. And he tries to get in the church, but I guess it's Tuesday, so church is closed today.
And then lightning strikes the church. The lightning rod. This is like the scene in The Wicker Man when he sees the Wicker Man. It's like this prolonged screaming sequence where he could probably get out of the way, but doesn't.
Dude, it is so funny. Like, he looks up, and there's a lightning rod, and lightning rod just goes, whoop, and
It cuts between his face and the lightning rod and his face, and the lightning rod repeatedly ends up getting speared to the ground.
For a 1968 film, this had my jaw dropped.
76.
76?
Yeah.
Still, my jaw dropped.
Dude, and it's so great, because, like, he just goes limp, and the storm stops.
It's like he's staked to the ground.
Dude, it is such a cool shot. It really is. And then we smash cut to the mother being like, Damien, will you just shut the fuck up?
Oh, yeah, because the priest had told Gregory Peck that his wife was pregnant, and he did not, and then he finds out soon afterwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the priest may have actual supernatural powers here.
Maybe, but
well, yeah. Yeah, we don't I like the movie. I like the mystery. Nothing is explained. I don't know what to tell you otherwise. Like, we're not ever told anything about this stuff. So, but yeah, so Damien is making noise, and the mother is just not having it, tells the nanny to take her away. And again, this is where I think Damien has powers already, because what's he doing? He's staring at the mother, and she has a headache. Like...
That could no. I've done that to Savannah. I
sure.
stared at her and she got a headache.
The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Great movie. Yeah.
With George Clooney.
Yeah. There's plenty of
okay,
it.
gotcha.
It's about a real project, and Kevin Spacey's evil in it, so it's okay to like it.
Right. That is the rule. We
Kevin
only
Spacey
watch movies that Kevin Spacey's evil in.
Is evil or he dies at the end. Yeah. Otherwise, I try to avoid them. But Gregory Peck is like, you know what we need to do? Coitus. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. I just found out today. And he's like, what? That crazy old man was right. It's that tomb of flies with the...
And there's a whole discussion about, I think she wants to have an abortion.
Right.
Yeah.
She does.
That's not very Catholic.
It's not very Catholic.
Nope.
But also, I love the 70s-ness of it. You have to get your husband's permission to get an abortion. I mean, you should probably talk about it with someone, but like the idea that your husband has to be the one to decide your health, that's funny.
Very conservative.
Very old-timey.
Although
I guess, frankly, in the States, this would have been crazy too, because this is only, 2 years after Roe?
Really? What year was Roe?
I think it's 74.
74? Okay.
But like the idea that abortion is a plot point and that they're just talking about it?
I was very surprised that it is even mentioned.
I think in the original Black Christmas it is as well.
Yeah.
Well, just for a movie that's so heavily around faith. I mean, I guess no, the devil's involved, so it probably.
Well, she's being driven crazy by her son, who is literally the devil. So that's why.
Well, and like, well, yeah, and I guess that's important too. But then part B, I love something that's just so 70s about this too, is how much information we get over the phone. Like how many phone calls that are dramatic that are throughout this whole thing. Because we're about to get to another important one here, where someone calls and says, check the newspaper. I believe it's David Warner, but we don't really know. And he opens the newspaper dramatically, and there's just a picture of the priest who's been impaled. Because the British press does not give any shits about anything.
It was some TMZ.
It is. They learned it from watching you.
Yeah, I just got done teaching the Mongols, and I was telling them about I think the Daily Mail had an article about how Genghis Khan supposedly killed so many people, changed Earth's climate.
Yes.
So they called him history's greenest conqueror.
Oh,
yeah, the British papers, as you said, they are out loud and proud, as opposed to ours, or at least try to not be opinionated.
Well,
I mean, ours people, someone owns it, and someone has money, and
I mean, Fox News
oil and corn and
weapons.
Yeah.
Fox News' own Rupert Murdoch cut his teeth with British tabloid newspapers.
Right? Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's an Aussie. He did in Australia first, but like I think he was the one with the Daily Mail, and then they got in trouble for tapping people's phones.
Damn.
Yeah. But now old Roops is getting old, and so his family's fighting over the money and all that stuff.
That's the Bloids.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah. So that's death number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the hanging and the kebabbing.
Well, and I will say something I love about this movie is how many other things are referenced from it. But like The Shining, like did you watch The Shining with us, or was that an episode you weren't on?
I've seen The Shining.
Okay, but like him on the tricycle, Damien on the tricycle is so much like Danny on the tricycle, going through the thing, like even the camera angles. But like here's where like Gregory Peck is driving home, right? And all these cars keep swerving around, and then we cut to Damien just on his tricycle going in a circle.
Run circle.
And I'm like, I don't know if he's good. But that's why this movie is impactful, because we don't know. Now we're just used to this kid being creepy and shit going on, and we have no idea because he's driving. Those people are being maniacs out there.
He was driving a little recklessly, but it does make sense. Damien can have some control.
Because he's leaving the doctor's office, and the doctor's like, your wife wants to have an abortion, and she's acting like a woman. Have a highball, right? And this is where he about kills his mom.
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive. I was sure she was going to die here.
So this is what happens, I guess, to walk through the whole scene, because it's being played right now.
Yeah.
So Damien's doing donuts in his room, and the nanny admires his tenacity or so. So, being a kid, I guess, I guess the mom is changing ficuses that she's hanging from the ceiling in the upstairs hallway.
Right.
And so, I guess the nanny knows this, or, and I guess decides to open the bedroom door, allowing Damien to go into the hallway, into which the mom is on a chair. And mind you, this is a second-story house.
It's like this weird vaulted room thing.
Right.
And so they're probably 2 or 3 stories up.
Yeah, and this is one of those balcony situations where it's just like, these are rich people things. So, the upstairs you can see from downstairs. And so the kid knocks over the chair or the whatever, having the mom kind of hanging from like the banister almost.
And again, this is where it gets creepy, because he's just watching.
Right.
He's not trying to help. He's not doing anything. He's just watching her struggle.
How old is Damien? 5?
I think he's supposed to be 5, because we keep saying 5 years, 5 years, 5 years.
Right. And so, but yeah, basically it was like almost that Mufasa Scar situation. Save the king. Yeah. And she fucking just drops the story.
Dude, she fucking slow-mo falls.
And mind you, she was pregnant.
She's pregnant.
With some obvious symbolism where the fishbowl shatters first.
Right. Yeah. And then she was pregnant.
Dude. And
but the way she lands.
She lands belly first.
But isn't that crazy though? But I found that weird. The way that she was falling seemed to be to her back. But
Damien, man.
You think that was Damien?
I have no idea. But anytime, that old Simpsons joke. Yeah, whenever you notice something incongruous, Wizard did it. So like, whenever something weird happens, I'm like, nah, it's Damien.
Damien did it. Because it was almost like she was like a cat. You know what I mean? Landing on her feet.
Dude. Pregnant. And then that one arm's going all janky, which is the one that's ended up broken. But the next scene, we have Gregory Peck arriving at the intensive care unit. And the doctor, man, no bedside manner. It's almost hilarious. He goes, she's pregnant. And the doctor goes, nope. Right?
No.
Dude, right? Like, because the doctor just kind of goes, she's not.
She's not anymore.
Come on, Doc. You got to try harder than that.
Good news, 50% on baby
Don't
coffins.
worry, she'll be fine. You guys can have another kid. Well, time for tea. Like, it's just... Oh, my God.
This I don't know. Like, this... when is this? This is particularly being released in October. I'm assuming we're watching these scary movies for
We're
Halloween.
doing horror movies for October.
Oh man,
we're recording a few weeks ahead.
Yeah, I know. But this is just it's for those you don't know. Obviously, Hoffman, our composer, likes to schedule ahead because he knows people are busy. So we do these episodes ahead of time. We're at the end of summer. The weather is nice. It's chill. We're all happy, and I had to watch this movie at 3 a.m. because I procrastinate. But it's
don't worry. I finished watching this today while
I think the clock hit 1 when they were like, "She's not pregnant." And I'm like, "Damn, what time is it?" There's a lot of stuff.
We were halfway through. Man.
Yeah, and then Damien goes to his wife, and she's on a full-on body cast, just barely surviving.
Her arm is up, like, and the one thing the doctor says is, "Well, she has a concussion."
No shit.
She fell 3 stories.
Jeez, God, and then God, I just
and eventually she wakes up and goes. Essentially said she's afraid of the kid, which
is God punishing them for switching at birth, or was that always the case that he was the Antichrist from birth?
Well, we'll get to the cemetery, and I defy anyone to explain what happens in that cemetery.
I don't even fucking know. But anyways, so I guess things are happening, and I guess
okay. So Gregory Peck goes to check on the kid, and the dog is back in the hotel, like in the kid's room, right? And so now once again he's kind of gets a dramatic phone call, and what's going on effectively is David Warner's reaching out and saying, like, look, I know shit is going down, and here's my evidence. Every time I look, I've taken pictures around you, it turns out that shit's about to go down. And so, like, for example, this is your nanny, the picture I took at the party of your nanny. And see this line that's going down? It's going around her neck. And then in the next shot, this is her hanging. And then here's the priest.
By the way, here's a picture of her hanging.
That's right. And then here's the priest. The priest, here there's kind of this line going through it. It's a little bit fadey. And then here, the next day, see how much stronger it is. And then here's the picture of him dead. And he's looking at the priest and saying, like, look, he's been injecting himself with this chemical for several times because clearly something was wrong. On the outside, he looked okay, but on the inside, he's hiding something. And on his arm, he had this tattoo. And he has these, like, he has 3 6s, very kind of proto-demonic stuff. And then the entire second half of this movie is a completely different movie.
And that's when things start, personally, like, it went from slow pacing to, like, let's get shit done.
Well, and Damien is not in the second half almost at all.
You know what? You're right. You're right. It just goes on. Now, so 666 of the devil.
The number of the beast.
The
right?
number. So that's the number of the beast.
Yes. In most translations of the Bible.
Got you. Where was a movie with Brendan Fraser? Bedazzled? Bejeweled?
Yes.
Anyways, it just I remember it's like he had a pager, and every time he had wishes, and every time he wanted to escape the wish that he wanted, he would just need to type in 666. Anyways, so it turns into the Da Vinci Code essentially.
Yeah, and like this whole demonic thing, we kind of get this evil cabal thing, and I will say the apartment scene, the priest's cloister, like the priest's cell, is really cool. Like the walls are wallpapered with biblical pages. There's all these crucifixes on the door. He has like
schizophrenia.
He's out of his goddamn mind. But like David Warner's like, so because they just thought it was a suicide or whatever, the cops let me explore this place and gather clues. And you're just like, all right, whatever, movie. I know you have to move on, but
yeah. And what's funny is that while they're in the apartment scene, the photographer hands old Greg a picture.
Yes.
And of the picture, it was him taking of the picture of the mirror.
Yeah.
And the mirror had his head kind of,
Yeah, it's like it's got like a slash.
And then
right
Greg
across
was
his
like,
neck.
"What the fuck is this?" He's like, "I don't know," and we just gonna find out essentially.
And again, what Gregory Peck should say is like, just don't take any pictures of me. Right? Like,
no, that's right. Yeah, just avoid taking. Wait, I don't want to spoil this, but I'll come back to it. Just remind me towards the end. Just like,
well, I do realize I've just written a Goosebumps book here, but
you know what? You're right. No, you're right.
And then like, don't worry, because then we cut to him like them moving the wife into like a room with a window. Just like, don't worry, honey, I have important ambassador stuff to do, but you'll be fine here.
Here's a radio and a window.
I will talk to our various maids. Wait, only the nannies left? Well, that seems like that's a bad thing. And also, everyone just leaves except for the nanny in the middle of the night, apparently we're told. And on top of that, they leave a forwarding address so that they can receive their last month's pay. My thought immediately was like, oh, she murdered these people and is just collecting all of their last month's pay. But we never see them. There's no messages. There's nothing.
The devil is alive. It is alive. So I'm just going through and I want to make sure, because how long were you into recording right now?
We're about 50 minutes in.
Jeez.
And we're an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
But at this point,
things are speeding up.
Things are speeding up, and we don't have to talk about everything.
Well, I do want to talk about when he goes back to
Italy,
the hospital.
Yeah, in Rome.
Yep. Those elevators are pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
But,
I was like, what the fuck is that? That's an elevator. That's an OG elevator. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just go like a chute. Yeah.
I also like Gregory Peck's Italian. He's speaking like pretty good Italian. But like the whole thing is like they go to this place and they're like, this isn't where I told you to go. It goes, it's the address. He goes, yes, but it's different. And we're told that 5 years ago, the old hospital burned down. And this is the new hospital built here. And essentially the second they stop, the taxi driver lights up a lung dart. And then they just pan on him smoking for a second. I'm like, is something bad going to happen to the taxi driver? Because every time they stop on someone now, I assume someone's
going to die, yeah. Well, as long as he didn't get his picture taken, he'd be fine. Yeah.
I mean, if I were David Warner, every time someone was rude to me, I would take their picture.
Smile. Cheese.
Prego. But then Gregory Peck just starts arguing with a nun, and he's like, you mean there's no records left? No records left. Any records left? No records left. And then David Warner just
and then she fucking leaves like she's Mary Poppins off this elevator. Like, it's just legit. Anyway, sorry, that was my favorite scene.
Because you just like the elevators.
It just goes up, yeah. You know, it's like an escalator. An elevator.
Yeah, no, it's
an esca-elevator. I assume those are very dangerous now.
Oh, I'm sure they don't allow them to have anymore.
No, that's a very dangerous thing to have. Yeah.
But it is funny that they're already just like, going up. Yeah. I don't know how it works unless there's an elevator on the other side that just goes down, like it flips over the top.
Oh, you're right. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Six Flags may know this answer. So I guess.
I mean, just for a second.
Yeah.
The fashion here, man. Because, like, David Warner is, like, harried and panicked because he's noticed all these things, but he still has time to put on a dapper cravat. And, like, the nurse, then, like you said, the nurse GTFOs and just floats away.
Hey, man. They're in Italy. They gotta look good, you know?
We're told that the fire essentially started in the birth records room.
Of course it did.
And this is where we are... I forget if it's around here where we're told that actually in reality there is a cult of this, like the Antichrist that is doing this stuff that's essentially covering their tracks. And around here they're trying to track down the priest who set all this shit up, right? And he is essentially retired to a monastery for his sins. We're told for his sins. And so they're driving out there in Italy, which must be a real mindfuck because they drive on the other side of the road than England, and Gregory Peck takes it with an aplomb.
I know how to drive. I'm an ambassador.
I was an ambassador there, you bastard. And they're at a gas station having an espresso and reading the Bible as you do.
And so it is.
Well, and again, like here's the thing, man. Like I said, I've read the Quran, I've read the Bible. I appreciate old texts that have a lot of weight and that kind of thing. But like the idea that they're doing this like this is just so phenomenal. And then again, like that's what I love about Catholic horror.
Da Vinci Code.
Right. You just have to forget that this stuff was written over time for the Bible, like thousands of years, and just say like, oh no, this is exactly real and it's got weight, and this is how we're gonna fight a demon today. And because Gregory Peck is just there with an espresso cup, and and David Warner's reading from Revelations. He's like, my God, it's like the poem. Like, and they're at an Esso station, you know what I mean?
Like, all right, man.
And then they're trying to drive to this monastery, and there's too many sheep in the way. Like, it's just
too many sheep.
Which again, I know it's a biblical image because there's always a metaphor of the shepherd, but at the same time, it's just like,
oh, I didn't catch that.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's almost like. I do love, same with Francis Ford Coppola or whatever, like these directors with a lot of Catholic guilt to them, because it does really make it feel much more intense. But like David Warner just saying, well, there's the monastery. Too bad there's sheep's here. Let's go.
Damn.
And that scene in the church is really creepy.
Yeah.
Because like all the...
Was he got the measles?
No, he got burned in the fire.
Damn. Okay. Gotcha.
Which means that for 5 years he's looked like this and his suffering. But the fact that all these monks are just praying without even looking up as they walk in is very creepy, right?
Mm.
And again, very much like I don't know, Father Karras in Exorcist, or even Keanu Reeves in Constantine, like. It's as though they really are on the battlefronts against evil, which again, if you're watching this kind of movie, you just have to buy, and that's kind of cool, right? Like the idea that it's really good versus evil, and they're watching, and it goes, hey, that's the guy I recognize over there on that weird chair, and they pan around, and his face is half melted.
Yeah, that I wasn't expecting that when they panned to the guy that had half of his face gone.
And I do love how Gregory Peck's like, don't throw up.
My God.
Ew, gross. Ew.
Was that the captain from Futurama?
Oh, Zap Brannigan?
Yeah, he's like, that's the impersonation we've been doing this entire time. Is like, I don't like that.
You know what? You're right. I've gone from essentially doing like
a Shatner,
get your hands up me, you damn dirty ape, to Zap Brannigan. Kith, get me some pert and popular.
What does this mean?
But I do love how like he's like talking to the monk, and he's like, what happened to that guy? And he goes, well, let me take you to him.
What's crazy is did they draw on his eye? Did they draw an eye on his eye?
Well, I mean, I imagine what they did is they gave him a prosthetic.
And then they drew on the prosthetic?
Yeah. But I will say, it is creepy. It is unsettling. And
interesting.
To your point, there's no special effects here that aren't easily, like, that aren't real, right? There's no computer effects here, so they just had to do shit. And I do love, again, Gregory Peck with his huge eyebrows just looking at him like, you helped me get a baby a few years ago. What's going on here? Like, he's just Mr. American Ambassador. Like, we also have to remember, like, in the background somewhere, Maggie Thatcher is like killing British mining, right? And like there's like almost a trade war going on with the British because the Americans are refusing to pay back their debt. Meanwhile, our ambassador is yelling at a man who's half dead about a demon child. Like
everyone my kid looks at dies.
Yeah, and then Yeah, and they quote the Bible. He goes like, "If I am sinful, as my penance, let me lose my left eye and wither my left arm." And the man's burned in the fire, and he reaches out to get a piece of chalk, or I mean, it's I guess essentially just coal. Yeah, and he writes out the name of a cemetery that we're told, right? That's just around the corner.
And that's when shit gets weird.
Extra weird.
Really?
They show up at this cemetery, and it's like the middle of the night somehow. And like it's like incredibly old, we're told, and it looks very old, but it very quickly becomes like a Star Trek set. Like they pan back, and it's this hollow, and it's kind of cool. I think they're actually on a set here.
Very Hocus Pocus vibes here.
Very much so. And they're looking at this place, and it's this weird, desiccated, like, rundown cemetery. Okay. And this is the part I don't understand, so we'll get through it together.
All right.
They find actually 2 gravestones, and they're the old-fashioned kind of, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like
it was...
sarcophagus kind.
So it wasn't, like, not steel, like cement?
No, it's stone. Like,
okay.
And so you bury the person down, and then you put the tombstone over it. Like it's kind of like a seal rather than the kind of we have in the States where they stand up, right? And so they open the first one, and the first one is like a dog skeleton,
right? Which had me confused.
Which they don't explain.
Don't explain.
And then the second one is like a child.
Yeah, that was hard.
A newborn child.
Right.
And he goes essentially like, "Oh my God, they killed a baby. He must have just been born."
I still don't get it.
I have no idea.
So who were these 2 things?
See, like...
So was that supposed to be his unborn child from the beginning?
Maybe?
Yeah, it was. Because he's like, they killed my son several times.
But then what happened with the other lady, though? Wait, no.
Why is there a dog there, Matt?
Yeah.
Because something was getting freaky deaky with the jackal.
Or do you think the nanny was the mom?
Oh, maybe the nanny was the mom.
Because they never outright say it could have been.
Because there's definitely because there's a baby with a hole in its head.
Yeah, they smashed a baby's skull. We're told.
Yeah.
And before they have time to address any of these questions, like 8 to 10 dogs show up, and like they just start attacking people. Like these are attack dogs attacking, and like I don't know the process of any of this stuff because they do occasionally zoom in on Gregory Peck's face, so we know it's him at certain points at least. But like this cut is like,
this is where PETA should have been involved.
Yeah, and I don't think they were. And then he impales his arm on
the fence.
Or whatever happens there. I don't know.
They're running. They're running. It's an intense scene.
It is an intense scene. It goes on for a bit.
Yeah. And then they finally escape.
And then we have another scene where he's on the phone with his wife, and he's like, "You know what we need to do? What you need to do? We're going to pick you up. My buddy from the embassy is going to pick you up. I'm going to get you out of London because clearly he has no power outside of London. Yes, I'm in Italy and just got attacked by dogs."
And then she acts his.
She's trying to get ready to go. Apparently, she's wearing gauze that needs to come off. But, like, she's wearing a nightie. It's very strange. It's very undignified. And she thinks it's the guy from the embassy. It's not. It's the nanny. And then the nanny shoves her out a window. And it's just... We cut to the outside.
So many people falling to their deaths in this movie.
They do.
I'm here for it. They cut to the outside of the hotel with an ambulance. And people just go... They look up. And she just
falls straight
And by the way,
through.
when she falls... If you're watching this at home, she doesn't have a cast.
Oh, she doesn't. It might have.
Both arms are just flailing.
Yeah.
And that's probably because whoever the stunt person is who's taking this real deal fall needs the arm to flip themselves over so they land correctly.
Why not get a dummy? Three Stooges it. You know what I mean? Or whatever it's called.
No, you're right. My preference is the Muppets because sometimes they just tuck those bastards.
Right.
And it looks great. They just go all floppity. But Big Gregory Peck's like, "Hey, the phone. Nothing bad can happen to this."
Yeah.
And he's like, "My wife did what?"
My wife did what?
Dude, this guy.
Leave me alone.
By the way, at this point,
sad.
he still doesn't want to kill his son, so good on him. Good dad.
Yeah.
But, like, you gotta read the writing on the wall.
It's...
And by the way, he gets there. He tears up on this phone call. Peck's a good actor. And then he's just having a depression
has
now.
Such good brow game. The one, like, I think The Rock studied him because that one eyebrow up is just like so intense. Because I'm watching
when Peck is cooking.
She's like,
oh mercy.
Kathy did what?
No,
Tom.
But at this point, he's bummed his wife is killed, and he's reciting the poem back. And the priest had told him to find this one expert at Armageddon, at Tel Megiddo. And so they decide to go to Israel.
To Jezebeth.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And then we have, I mean, I don't know, but I would guess is actually Armageddon, because it's a pretty big historical dig site that they are at.
So I that's one thing I will appreciate. There's a lot of good cinematography.
Yeah.
In this scene, or even the graveyard scene. So whoever said, "All right, shoot from that angle," because it's really nice, and they go into the city of is it Jezebeth? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, and to the ruins, and I guess I'm not quite understand exactly why they're there though.
So the priest said that there was an expert there that they need to see, and he's the guy who's in the basement. But in the Bible, they talk about the meeting is at Armageddon. Armageddon is an actual place in Israel in the Jezreel Valley called Tel Megiddo is the modern translation of it. But it's just a famous place where a lot of battles had happened because it's a big open field in the middle of it. And so in the book of Revelations, it says that the final battle of good and evil will happen at Armageddon. And so they go to Armageddon because they're about to fight the final battle of good and evil. It's just a simple metaphor. And in such, we meet this great old man with the biggest nose I've ever seen, who's like this. He's like, "Oh, so you're gonna fight evil, huh?"
He was giving.
I have these knives.
He was giving me the way his voice. Oh my God, what's his name? The Lord of the Rings.
Gandalf?
No, the dwarf.
Oh, Gimli.
Gimli. The actor's name.
Jonathan Rhys Davies.
He was giving me that vibe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, and especially when he's doing his Sala voice from Indiana Jones. Yeah. I see it. And by the way, I love it when they both show up, and he goes, "What I have is to tell only for you. David Warner, get the hell out of here." And David Warner's like, "Fine, I'll just go to these catacombs." And then the guy opens this whatever, this case, and goes,
treasure chest.
"So I have 8 knives for you." And they're silver because he might be a werewolf. Like,
he could have gotten that information, a telegram, a fax, a phone call.
This is UPS with some silver knives.
Knives. You could have, that's what I'm saying. Like, silver is, maybe it's a special Jezebeth silver knife.
Well, I mean, again, like, I will say it's really wonderful, especially as an American, shorthand, when you're just like, this came from Israel. Ooh, it must be magic, right? Like, it's just like, this McDonald's cheeseburger. Well, I guess it wouldn't be cheese. This McDonald's French fries, they must be magic, because I got it from Jerusalem. And then you say it funny, you're like,
Jerusalem. Jeez. No, they have some magic to it because they come back later.
You've been on the Hajj, right?
Have you been? I have not. My mom has, some of my uncles, but no, I have not done the Hajj.
Do they have a McDonald's at Mecca?
Do they have
Mecca burger?
Do they have a McDonald's in Saudi Arabia?
I'm sure they have them in Saudi Arabia. They probably have special,
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I don't know.
The food has to be. I mean,
I don't know in Mecca if they have McDonald's.
I mean, you'd probably fly into Riyadh, right? And then take a little puddle jumper flight to Mecca,
right?
And in the airport, is there a Starbucks?
I don't know. I gotta ask my mom that.
Well, I mean, and since it's during Ramadan, right?
Everything. Well,
I imagine they don't do great business during the Hajj.
So I've been to Dubai, and I was actually in Dubai during Ramadan, and during the day, ghost town.
Yeah.
Even the mall, you just what do you do if you can't eat? You just walk around and all the shops are closed. Like nothing, So business happens at night. And then,
Of course.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like, I like the idea that you'd have a special Mick Medina.
Mick Medina. It seems sacrilegious saying it out loud.
First of all, it'd be sacrilegious. Second of all. But anyway, so we have this like incredibly Jewish man saying, you've got to kill your son with these knives I just happen to keep around. And then the next guy comes in, he goes, I have these knives for you to kill your son. It's just his business in fratricide. And it's just delightful.
Jeez. And then, I don't know, I guess...
I mean, then we just have an eyebrow competition between these two men, and then David Warner, like, and then we cut outside, and the best thing in the world is about to happen, where David Warner's like, what did he tell you? We went all this way, you've got to tell me what he said. And he goes, he wants me to kill my son with these knives. And there's this very specific thing he says, which is like, look, the first strike is going to kill the body, and then you need to keep hitting him so that it also kills the demon within him, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to David Warner like, I can't kill my son. I cannot do this. This is ridiculous. And then he chucks the knives.
Yep.
And David Warner's like, you fucking idiot. I'm going to go get those knives. And then the greatest death possibly in cinema history happens here.
Yeah, so the knives fall into, I guess, there's some constructions going on, and there's a pile of sand, and as he's scrumming through the knives, there's a truck that is parked on top of a hill that is carrying a
giant pane of glass.
Yeah,
and he looks up just in time for his head to get cut clean off of his damn body.
Just like the picture said.
Dude, and then we get this shot of his decapitated head looking at itself in the mirror. Like, holy shit.
That I don't know. I haven't seen an older I haven't seen an old time movie that has had a death like this.
I mean, it is just
clean.
Dude, my God, there's no blood. It's really funny.
I had to I watched it 3 times.
How could you not?
Because I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Whew, that was, dude, Final Destination, watch this movie.
You know what? Yes. No, that is a perfect example of Final Destination. Watch the Omen. They just watched the death.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of movies saw this because, like, the way they do the music, where it swells, and you have the whispers in Latin in the background, and then he's just on this plane by himself. You're just like, what on earth?
Buddy.
Oh, God, it's so good.
Buddy.
He gets back to the house with his estate car, and he just has the knives. His wife is dead. His weird, creepy photography friend is dead. His priest buddy is dead. We now have 4 really good kills in this, and he's got some knives. And, like, this end fight scene is just, wow.
Yeah. He kind of, like, sneaks back into his house because Danny's still there.
Yeah.
And the dog.
And the dog.
And the dog. So he has to kind of, like, get to his son's room, essentially. Yeah. So he kind of maneuvers around and manages to trick the dog into locking him into the basement cellar, right? And then
he makes sure that the nanny's asleep, and then closes the door, and he walks into his sunroof.
And this is the part that I got. Well, I guess he goes into the kitchen or whatever, and he's trying to find. He's looking for something, and then it ends up being scissors, essentially.
Well, because he needs to find the mark of Satan.
Right.
He's not sure. Like, again, he wants to make sure that this is. Like that the crazy old man in Armageddon, he's like, look, the way you can tell is that he has a 666 on him. And he goes like, look, man, I bathed this kid. He doesn't have it anywhere. He goes, yeah, but did you look under his hair? And so he's getting a pair of scissors to cut the hair away to see if on his head somewhere he has the mark of Satan. And then, of course, the first place he cuts, he finds this weird scar. And that's where we see the 666. And right as he cuts it away, then the nanny comes back in. And we have this slobber knocker of a fight between this nanny Gregory Peck.
That's no. I don't think there were no stunt doubles. They were doing them themselves,
Dude.
which I respect. I respect the hell out of them.
This is just a real knockdown fight. He like throws this lady into a wall. She gets knocked out.
Knees her in the face and everything. It's pretty intense. And then I guess Gregory at this time is hiding, and then the father gets him, and then they try to go downstairs, but Gregory ends up screaming and fighting, and he latches onto a little light fixture, and he falls down the stairs, and then they go into the kitchen, but no. Nanny's there for round 2.
Just like she's Jason Voorhees or something.
Sort
like
of,
she
yeah.
has to be killed 3 times, and there's just blood being splattered everywhere because she's nuts, and he's bleeding, and meanwhile Damien is long gone, and Gregory Peck just kills this woman in his house.
And he uses the knives that he got from Jezebeth.
Yes. And if the movie doesn't end the way it ends, he has so much explaining to do.
Yeah.
Because he drives a knife into the lady's throat. Really just with a fondue fork or whatever this thing is. And super kills her. I love this stuff, man.
It's
meanwhile, he's covered in blood and drives away. And the cops see him covered in blood, and they're like, we have to stop this man.
And this is what I really respect. I mean, this is a night shoot, and it's a police chase scene, essentially.
Yeah.
And I'm really impressed the way they did this.
And they're heading towards the church. Right.
The weakness.
Yeah. And he's essentially going to stab this kid to death on the altar of a church.
Does he?
As the American ambassador.
Does he? Did he need to do that? Could he done it anywhere? Or did it have to be at a church?
It's not clear, but it makes sense, I guess. I mean, and he has this knife poised over this kid on the altar of a church, and the cops are like, drop the knife. And he's like, you know what? No. Dude.
And then the shot heard around the world.
Dude. And, okay, so we don't know exactly what happens at this point. We assume he's dead. And then there's 2 coffins at this funeral. And they do the full 21-gun salute. The Marines are there. It's looking good. They, because he is a member of the embassy, or ambassador corps, he's a member of the State Department, and a vet, they give him the full military honors. They fold the flag up. And then, the ending of all endings, the driver comes up and says, Mr. President, when you're ready, the car is over there. And we know that they were college roommates and they were buddies. And they pan down, and between the First Lady and the President is Damien, who smiles for the fucking
Just
camera.
like in Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Dude, and this kid spikes the camera, and then a smash cut to the Book of Revelations. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the numbers of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And then the credits roll, baby. Woo! Oh, mercy me.
That's a movie. It was long. It was an interesting, but that was a good ending.
Yeah.
That was a good ending.
Dogs owned and trained by Ben and Joan Woodgate. No PETA logo, but at least we know that the dogs had a trainer, I guess. Okay, so, final thoughts. Matt.
It's good. Definitely check it out.
Nor?
It's a very dry movie at the beginning. Halfway when things start to pick up, I kind of want to check out. They made a remake of it in 2006.
They made a remake in 2006, and there's at least 2 sequels of it.
Right, and so I definitely want to check out the modern version, see if the pacing's up. But no, I think as far as horror movies, biblical horror movies, and some really gruesome deaths for the 70s, definitely check this out.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was the one who chose this. We are coming up with themes, and I'm just like, let's do a classic, one that people have heard of. And again, the second someone says their name is Damien and you assume that that kid is evil, well, that's because of this.
Yeah, I had a student named Damien. I think people, told him, yeah, people are going to be weird about it.
Yeah, I mean, and this spawned a million movies, including, like you said, a 2006 remake, a 2024 movie called The First Omen. And the remake, by the way, the parents are Liev Schreiber and Julia Stiles, which
Ooh.
is, yeah, that's not bad. And I believe the creepy priest is played by Pete Postlethwaite, friend of the show. But yeah, no, it's and David Thewlis is in it, so I don't know, it's fine. And then, like I said, there's several sequels which are pretty good. Good bad horror movies. I don't know what to tell you. And yeah, no, I like this movie. I thought it was fun. I do occasionally like. Frankly, first, I prefer the older style horror movies than like the torture porny ones of the last few years.
Yeah.
I guess not. I mean, they've kind of fallen out of fashion. I do like the kind of elevated ones like Us and Them. And
I like a good psychological thriller, a little bit, a little drama in there, but I like a movie that makes you think.
Well, I mean, it's why I like Psycho and why I like The Shining more than I do like a lot of other horror movies. Though I will say, after this, I feel like I need to watch a Final Destination or something.
Right.
But yeah, no, I love this. I'd recommend it if you can get your hands on it. It's definitely different than you'd expect a horror movie nowadays to be, but it has a pretty decent death count actually. So yeah, and again, I need to rewatch the Sam Neill one because Sam Neill's always good in horror movies. If you haven't seen previous episode Event Horizon, he's really good in that. But he plays Damien Thorne in one of the Omen movies as well. I think it's Omen number 3, I think. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing us because that helps us become more recognized. Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye.
Myopia Movies is executive produced by Nick Hoffman and produced by Alex Ewalt, Kieko Childs, Matt Quinn, Nick Hoffman, and Noor Trinette. It is edited and engineered by Noor Trinette. The theme song is Surf Shimmy by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. All rights reserved. Thanks for listening.